All right, Shalom. First, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. Here I have an article, all right, some more madness. This is on New York Times, New York Post, okay, published today, actually published September 9th, okay, and it basically says scientists suggest eating human flesh to fight climate change. All right. This is what good lord, man. This is where we're at now, okay? All right, now lo and behold, of course he's an Edomite. You know, you ain't gonna see Jake on here suggesting some madness like this, man. Okay? Now it gets even crazier because he's suggesting you eat dead human flesh. When the scriptures tell you you're not supposed to touch even a carcass, man. But let's read a little bit of this article, man. Okay, man. Oh boy. So it says a Swedish scientist speaking at Stockholm summit last week offered an unusual possible tactic in combating global climate change: eating human flesh. And this should really make you think, all right, that if these are the scientists, all right, that are coming out telling you that the Earth is a million and something years old, and this is that, and this is that, you might need to double check that, man. You got to fact check that because just you see a lot of people just because maybe they'll read something that says, "Oh, a scientist said this," automatically it becomes fact in their mind. Instead of doing research and authenticating it and fact checking it, making sure it's real, because a scientist said it. Oh, that's it. You know, and it's something that it's common with a lot of people. Okay, just as though if you were looking for directions, all right, and you saw maybe somebody with a yellow vest on, and they're telling you, oh no, you got to go this way, do this and that, you're more likely to believe them, all right, than if it was somebody else. Why? Because they have the yellow vest on and everything. So even if they're giving you wrong directions, you'd believe them, and trust that what they're saying is true because of what they look like, you know. And a lot of people fall for that when it comes to this. Oh, because they see it on the news, because the scientists claim this and that. Now it may be blatantly false, blatantly stupid, blatantly wicked, but because a scientist came out and said it, automatically we got to start considering it, right? So it says Stockholm School of Economics professor and researcher Magnus Soderlund reportedly said he believes eating human meat derived from dead bodies might be able to save the human race if only a world society were to awaken the idea. What kind of madness is that? And this is why the scriptures say, man, that these Edomites, all right, because he's an Edomite, all right, the Caucasian race, according to the Bible, they're Edomites. They're in rulership right now, okay, starting with their top rich, super rich elites, man, and they need to be taken out of power, okay, because this is insane, man. Like, what? The world were to awaken to that idea? Are you crazy? It says Soderlund's argument for human cannibalism was front and center during a panel talk called "Can You Imagine Eating Human Flesh?" at the Gastro Summit. Reports of Epoch Times. Conservative taboos against cannibalism, he said, can change over time if people simply tried eating human flesh. Wow. Oh my gosh, man. What does the world come to? Hey, and you know what it is too is that, guess what? It's as crazy as it sounds. When all hell breaks loose, people will revert to cannibalism, man. Because due to the lack of access of food, people are gonna get so hungry that they're gonna stop thinking rationally. They're gonna stop considering, certain things and start blocking it out. Because that's how the brain works. I'll give you an example. If you're in a location or a room, full of people, all right, and out of all of them, you got a couple of chicks in there, whatever the case may be, all right, and they're not all that, but let's say that those are all you got. What your brain is gonna do is gonna start to eliminate the things that you don't find attractive about that woman, all right, and it's going to start bringing out the things that you do find attractive about her, to the point where over time she starts becoming attractive as a whole to you, because your brain is in that mechanism of I got to make the best of the situation that I'm in, you know. So now it starts to make her look more appealing to you, even though at the beginning when you first saw her you were like, I ain't with that, because you've seen better, you're used to better. But now when you realize that this is all you got, then you start to see the pros and try to eliminate the cons. And in a time of famine, the brain does that, because guess what? Now your brain is like, no, 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 don't worry about that. Meat is meat. So it goes from, nah, I'm not eating human meat, to now, hey, meat is meat, man. You know? So you start kicking into that instinctive, or that carnality, all right, that carnal mindset of like, yo, like look at people in Venezuela, all right, prior to the chaos that's going on over there, they didn't imagine that they'd be eating out of trash cans or eating zoo animals. But what, in that state, because they were in desperate times, they started considering it, because now they're like, yo, maybe like this is all I got. So I gotta make the best of it. Now your brain is making it not as disgusting as originally it would have been. Okay? And if you don't got the right spirit, if the Lord doesn't have that spirit, to where your spirit, is that backup mechanism that just kicks in like, yo, you're bugging out right now. If that's not in you, you're gonna end up taking a chip. You're gonna end up committing cannibalism, or just giving into the carnality, man. Because think about it, your flesh is constantly fighting against your spirit, and right now you're and that's for comfort right now. So how much more do you think your flesh is gonna fight against your spirit when it comes to necessity? Okay, comfort, pleasure, your flesh is still going at it with your spirit. I want to do this, but you're fighting against it. So how much more when your flesh is like, I need to do this, you know? Now you gotta really have that strong spirit to put the flesh into subjection, man. Because it'll keep popping up in your mind. Yo, it's not that bad, yo. You know? And that's the times we're coming into, man. And it's gonna be a hell of a time, man. Best believe that. So it says some of the talking points at the seminar included whether humans were too selfish to live sustainably, and if cannibalism is the solution to food sustainability in the future. Which it's funny, because they show you that in a lot of movies, a lot of different shows, even The Walking Dead, how you have certain people that will just resort to cannibalism, and they do it so much they get used to it, and then it becomes a thing, where now they're so used to it that it's not a problem for them. They're going out hunting humans, skinning them and hooking them, in a slaughterhouse, which is absolutely disgusting, man. It says when asked during an interview after his talk if he personally would try human flesh, oh boy, Soderlund said he was open to the idea. So you have this Edomite, all right, a so-called scientist, says he's open to the idea of trying human flesh. All right. So those around him, they better start making plans as to how they're gonna separate, because if a state of chaos happens, man, he sounds like the type of dude to see you as a meal, you know, and that's crazy, man. But this is the perverseness of Esau. Are you crazy, man? It says I feel somewhat hesitant, but to not appear overly conservative, I'd have to say I'd be open. I'd be open to at least tasting it. He told Sweden's TV4. What? Yo, bro, that's crazy, man. Hey, man, but this is Esau. The Lord is showing his true nature, man. So it says here he suggested more plausible options, such as eating pets and insects, before human meat becomes the next cuisine trend. However, history shows there are potential health risks to cannibalism. A tribe of Papua New Guinea practice eating their dead as an alternative to allowing them to be consumed by worms. According to the standard, the cultural practice led to an epidemic of disease called kuru, also known as laughing death. Whoa. According to the U.S. National Library of Medicine, the disease is caused by an infectious protein found in contaminated human brain tissue. The practice of cannibalism among the people of New Guinea came to an end in 1960, man. Okay? But this is some crazy madness right here, man. And of course you have an Edomite suggesting this BS. Okay, so let's get some scriptures, man. All right, first I'll start with this in the book of Hebrews, chapter 12, verse 16. Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, okay, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. A profane person, man. Now let's look up the word profane. Babalos, all right. It says accessible, lawful to be trodden of places, profane, unhallowed, meaning what? Unholy. Common, public place of men, ungodly, man. Okay, because the scriptures, according to the law, which separates us from these other nations, okay, the holy people, which are the Israelites, we're not supposed to be touching carcasses, man. That makes you unclean. All right, touching a dead thing, whether it's an animal or human, makes you unclean. Okay, but you got Edomites, but that's why it says what? They're profane, man, because their forefather Esau was profane. All right, and so them being descendants as Edomites from Esau, even till this day, have that within their spirit. Okay, so next precept. This is Daniel chapter 4, verse 17. This matter is by the decree of the watchers. All right, and who are the watchers, man? The prophets. The scriptures tell you in Isaiah that the Lord has made us watchmen, okay, over Jerusalem. Okay, so another name for prophets would be seers, okay, watchers, okay, watchmen, prophets. It says, and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men. Okay, so regardless of, hey, when the Egyptians were in rulership, the Most High set them up, and that's why he hardened Pharaoh's heart. It was all the Most High. Okay, when the Assyrians were in rulership, when the Babylonians were in rulership, okay, when the Greeks were in rulership, when the Persians were in rulership, when the Romans were in rulership, Esau being in rulership, the Most High sets it all up, man. All right, and that's why all these different nations and all these different events that took place, all did what? They fulfilled prophecy. Okay, so the scriptures tell you in Proverbs, I believe the 21st chapter, that the heart of the king is in the hand of the Lord, and he turneth it whithersoever he wants. So and who rules a kingdom? All right, a king. So the Most High controls the kings of all these different kingdoms. All right, and whatever thought he puts into their mind to do, they do it, thus fulfilling his will. So it says, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the basest of men. What is it? A precept for that? Job 9:24. The earth is given to the hand of the wicked. All right, and that wicked is Esau. And as the scriptures refer to him as what? The basest of men. They're the bottom of the bottom. Because you go back in history, guess what? Even you going back to the Egyptians, okay, or the Cushites, okay, or even the dark nations, guess what? They had some form of wisdom. Okay? Egypt was a flourishing superpower, man. So a lot of these different nations, man, they came up with different different ways of using wisdom because they had some form of wisdom in them. But Esau, being the least, the basest of them, his ass was in caves, man, braying and being a caveman. That's why they always say, well, civilization started when we were cavemen. We, meaning them. I'm sorry, man, but we were civilized. Okay, don't tell me about I was some Neanderthal. I came from some common ancestor. No, I don't want to hear that. Only common ancestor we got is Isaac, and from there we split. Okay, so for these Edomites coming out here, oh, well, when you study the skulls and the structure and all that, listen, man, don't come out here with that BS. Okay, we deal with what the scriptures say, and according to the scriptures, you're Edomites, you're the basis of men, and you're extremely disgusting. You're profane. Okay, to be put out. All right, you're outside the temple. You're unholy. And that's why after you serve your purpose of being the wicked, The Most High is gonna put you. He's under by using us. Okay, according to the scriptures, you're gonna serve us. You're gonna be in hardcore slavery, and the Most High is gonna exterminate you. Because why do you need a virus? Okay, if you're trying to ruin somebody's computer, sure. But after the job is done, you don't need a virus anymore. And guess what? We're not gonna need wickedness anymore. All right, the kind of wickedness that Esau has been created to do. Therefore, the Lord has no use of them. Okay, so continuing, all right, it says what? The basis of men. And that's who is in rulership right now, the basis of men, which is why you see all these profane things going on, man. All right, moving on. This is Psalms chapter 58, verse 3. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. Okay, and who are the wicked? The wicked are these Edomites. Okay, they are the border. The scriptures tell you in the book of Malachi, the first chapter, they shall call them what? The border of wickedness. Okay, and the people against whom the Lord hath an indignation forever. Okay, so from the womb, why? Because in the womb, the spirit, all right, comes from the spirit world into the into the physical world or the third dimension. Okay, because what? In the womb is where the vessel or the body for the spirit is prepared. Okay, so once that body is, the preparation is going on, the Lord, the spirit is able to now, hop up in there. But guess what? It's within their spirit to be wicked. So from the womb, the second they're born, that vessel is inhabited by a wicked spirit. So it's not about, oh, but that's just a baby. Guess what? The spirit inside that baby is wicked. And the spirit is not a baby, because that spirit has been there for generation to generation to generation, man. So I'll give you an example. Antiochus or Nero, all right, or all these Edomites. Guess what? Even Alexander the Greek, when he came back in the reincarnation, guess what? He was born as a baby, right? But the spirit that was in that baby is the same spirit that was in Alexander the Greek. And it was that same spirit that had these Edomites do all these wicked things. So guess what? He's born as a baby. Let him grow up, and he's going to do the same thing because that's in his spirit. That's like saying, I drive a certain way, a specific way. There's a specific way in which I drive, right? It doesn't matter what car you put me in. I'm going to drive that same way, So there's a specific way that a spirit behaves. So it doesn't matter what body or what vessel you put it in, it's going to behave the same way. All right. That's why the scriptures tell you that the spirit of the prophets are subject to the prophets, because our spirits were created to do the work of the highest, to prophesy. Therefore, whatever body we come in, whatever generation we come in, we're going to end up doing the same thing as we're doing right now. All right. So moving on. Last precept. This is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 4. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him. Okay. But the just shall live by his faith. So who is this talking about? Once again, it's talking about Esau. All right. His soul, his spirit that is lifted up is not upright in him. That's why they have the nerve, all right, to come out and say some madness like this. Man said, I'm open to trying human meat. Esau. That's Esau, man. Profane. Okay. And that's why the Most High is going to send Yahushua back to deliver us from this place, because if these devils are allowed to rule any longer, nobody's going to make it. All right? Nobody's going to survive, man, because everything they touch, they destroy. Okay? They turn life into death. They turn beauty into ugliness, man. They turn perfection into the opposite of that. Okay? Lord willing, this was edifying unto the elect. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai. Until next time, Shalom.